An icy start to Monday comes before our next round of snow. That moves in overnight. I'll have the details.
Our work begins with getting COVID under control.
After the Associated Press announced Joe Biden as the president-elect, we're taking a closer look at his first priorities and other firsts in the White House.
Where do we go from here? How do we follow this?
Saying goodbye to a TV icon. Social media reactions are pouring in after the loss of Jeopardy host Alex Trebek.
The presidential race was called by the Associated Press, but that's not the last step in the election process.
The fact that we had several faithless electors last time did put a bit of a spur into it.
This morning, why one elector says that won't be an issue this time around.
Up with KREM starts right now with Jen York, Joshua Robinson, Jeremy Ledoux, and Dana Marie McNichol.
6 o'clock on your Monday morning. Good morning and thank you for joining us here on Up with KREM. I'm Joshua Robinson. Joe Biden is now the president-elect, according to the Associated Press. And today we plan to take a closer look at Biden's plans as he prepares to take office in January. Plus, the White House will see a lot of firsts come 2021. But first, we think it's a very chilly start to our day. And of course, meteorologist Jeremy Ledoux joins us now with our morning look at why those conditions are the way they are, Jeremy.
Why it's the way it is. And the reason is, well, the clear skies overhead. Clear skies overhead allowed all of our warmth from yesterday to just escape off into the atmosphere. Temperatures dropped, and that means a lot of areas that saw snow yesterday are looking at an icy commute early on this morning. We're looking at temps in the mid-20s as we kick things off this morning. But look at that beautiful glow along the horizon. It shows a few things. The clear skies and that the sun is almost up. We're talking clear skies through the first half of the day. That should be enough to melt a lot of the ice in some of those areas that will get some of that early day sun. Other areas, not so much the case. Later on today, clouds moving in keep us from warming up too much above freezing. In fact, as we get into this evening, we are looking at snow starting to work its way into the inland northwest. Starts off to the north, moves through Spokane, and we could get a couple of inches on the ground by the time it all comes to an end. Mid-20s this morning, mid-30s later on this afternoon, then dropping to freezing just in time for that snow moving in. And when it comes to how much we get, 1 to 2 here in town, 3 to 4 once you cross the border. Higher elevations don't get too much more. It's just a little too dry. But one thing we do know is that it's a bit icy early on this morning. And Nicole Hernandez is out showing us the current conditions.
Good morning, Jeremy. So right now we are in downtown Spokane. Right now we're at Spokane Falls Boulevard and Washington Street. So I'll give you a look at what these roads look like this morning here in downtown. Right now they're looking much better down here than they were up on the South Hill. The South Hill had a much worse road conditions than down here, but still we need to be careful, especially as you can see this car about to go over the Washington Street Bridge, over those bridges in particular. That moisture is going to come up and around some of those bridges from the river and cause potentially more ice. So make sure if you're going to be in the downtown area, that's what you're most careful of this morning, is going over those bridges. And as you're waking up this morning, make sure to grab that extra coat and your gloves and your scraper and anything you could possibly use to be careful this morning with the cold and the ice, because not only just driving can be dangerous, but just walking around on some of this ice can be slippery and dangerous as well. So be prepared for that, and it's going to come up in patches. It's going to come up in different areas. Most of the main roads are clear right now. We've been able to drive back and forth between downtown and South Hill pretty easily. We're probably going to head either up north or towards the valley later on this morning, and we'll keep you updated with the rest of the roads as well. But for now, mostly be careful of the neighborhood roads that are more slick and go slow while driving this morning. Live in Spokane, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
Thank you so much, Nicole, for that update on weather this morning. We are tracking breaking news overnight. A possible hate crime is being investigated at Gonzaga University. The incident happened during a virtual meeting of Gonzaga's Black Student Union. Because of the graphic nature of the video, we're not going to show it at this time. Now, here's what we do know. The university released a statement yesterday after the video surfaced on social media. The university says early Sunday afternoon, the GU Black Student Union Zoom meeting was interrupted by a group of anonymous people using fake identities. The people began shouting racist and homophobic slurs directed at the BSU students and wrote hateful comments in the chat function. As you can imagine, the students were shocked, and some tell KREM it was traumatizing. Last night, the university issuing a statement. It says in part, "We condemn the disgusting, dehumanizing, and intolerable behavior experienced by our Black student union and community this afternoon." The university says every option will be exhausted in finding out who is responsible for the act. Gonzaga President Thane McCullough was also taking to Twitter to voice his displeasure, as well as saying, quote, "I am sickened by this disgusting hate crime," and denounce those responsible for it. McCullough went on to say that this behavior is not reflective of the Gonzaga University community and called for faculty and students alike to show support for the Black students in the Gonzaga community at this time. Now, KREM 2 received permission to share the video, but we're not going to share the video of this time because of that vulgar language in the video and out of respect to the students on that Zoom call. You can depend on us to keep you updated on this developing story. Joshua?
Thank you very much, Dana Marie. We're going to take a live look at the White House right now, where President-elect Joe Biden is already getting to work this morning. Biden not wasting any time preparing for the White House today as he plans to announce and launch his COVID-19 advisory team.
That plan will be built on bedrock science. It will be constructed out of compassion, empathy, and concern.
Former Surgeon General Vivek Murthy and former FDA Commissioner David Kessler will lead that group.
Is that Joe Biden is going to make good on his promises on the campaign trail.
CBS News reports President-elect Biden is expected to unveil a series of executive orders on his first day in office as well. They include rescinding President Trump's travel ban on several majority Muslim countries, reinstating the DACA program, and rejoining the World Health Organization and Paris Climate Agreement. President Trump has yet to concede the election, meanwhile, as his campaign pursues legal challenges in several battleground states. Many elected Republicans are supporting his fight, but legal experts say that the campaign's arguments lack evidence.
Even if they had merit, which the vast majority of them do not, they wouldn't result in the overturning of the election. They might result in a few dozen ballots here or there being thrown out.
Senior White House officials tell CBS News the president will concede when all legal options are exhausted and when the final numbers reflect a Biden win. Coming up this morning, a battle with cancer fought with so much grace and courage. This morning, we're remembering Alex Trebek, the beloved host of Jeopardy, and asking what you remember about the beloved host.
And it's an icy start to the day before a round of snow moves in a bit later on. I'm going to time it all out for you after the break.